Good afternoon, guys. Welcome back to Morgan Hill Farms. So if you guys saw my video yesterday, you know that in South Carolina, I know a lot of you guys are in the path of the storm, but we are getting ready for a massive winter storm here. I told you guys yesterday that they were saying that it was going to be the worst storm in a decade. The meteorologist that we follow, he is not the type of guy to just kind of hype things up, for views and clicks. And so if he is saying you have to prepare now, this is imminent, then you'd better listen. And in fact, it seems like as the hours go on, the situation is getting worse and worse. They're now saying it is going to be the worst storm in 2 decades, telling people to prepare for massive power outages. I have seen hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of electrical trucks, people posting things of all of these trucks coming up from Florida to get ready to help the Carolinas. Unfortunately, we are sitting in the worst possible location for this. So what I thought I would do today, Nate actually had to run into town, so I thought I would go with him and I thought I'd bring you guys along, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when we are less than 24 hours from what could be a major catastrophic event. And this is why it is so important that you are prepared early, that you have your supplies early, because once this happens, you're not going to find anything. Propane right now is absolutely gone. Propane tanks, non-existent. There were some places that got some generators this morning. I told you that Wednesday morning we were sold out of generators here and in the surrounding area. A couple of stores got some shipments in this morning, but people were waiting in line literally at 4:30 and 5 in the morning just to get a ticket for those. The Mr. Buddy heaters that are really great to heat the inside of your house with, non-existent. If you need a carbon monoxide detector, because you are going to be running that type of heater, you want to make sure you're doing that for sure to keep your family safe. You cannot find those. The little things that go on your hose spigots for the outside to prevent those externally from freezing and breaking. Guys, I'm just saying, you can't find anywhere. And from the posts that I've seen on Facebook, even the grocery stores have been completely wiped out. You have people asking all sorts of questions. Where can I buy milk? Where can I get this? How am I going to heat my baby formula? And so anyways, guys, we're going to go in. We're going into the Wild Blue Yonder tonight. We're going to see what it looks like when you have a disaster that is about to happen and you have people trying to get what they need. So we're going to see what the stores look like. Anyways, guys, so yeah, let's go see what we find. Hey guys, I'm going to jump in really quick here. Quick side note, Nate and one of our kids decided to run into QT to use the bathroom there, so they left me in the car so that I could talk to you guys really quick. Anyways, I finished that little intro part that you just saw there, and I decided I'm going to run in and use the bathroom too. So I go to hit my unlock button. No, it's not working. So then I take the little latch here, I pull that up so that I can get out of the car, and all of a sudden the alarm is going off. Guys, my car is so old that the key fob doesn't work. Nothing really works in this car. So anyways, my alarm is going off. I throw the key in the ignition. Nothing's working. People are staring at me. Literally 5 minutes later, Nate comes out, takes the key, throws it in the door, and boom, the alarm goes off. I'm slightly mortified. Still not at the point where I'm going to get a new car. I'm going to deal with this one with no car payment, and we're going to stick with this one, but just thought that was kind of a fun story. Yeah, slightly embarrassing, but anyways, we are on our way to our first destination. Okay guys, so here we are at Home Depot. This is where Nate needs to pick something up at. This is our first stop. You can kind of see, that the parking lot is pretty much full here. Now I will say that it is a Friday night, but I would not expect a home improvement store necessarily to be this busy on a Friday night. I would think maybe your shopping, your movies, your entertainment, that type of stuff. But let's go inside and let's see what the shelves look like inside.
At Appliance Outlet, we carry a large inventory of in-stock, brand-name appliances up to half off. That means we can deliver and install within days, not weeks. Check.
With the freezing temperatures that we're going to be seeing over the next week, people are really scrambling for any way to heat their homes and their families, to try to avoid having any of those burst water lines in their houses. And what you're seeing right now is Home Depot's entire section of electric heaters and propane heaters. Now, the electric heaters are not going to help you unless you have a generator. And if you need gas for that generator, but you don't have a gas tank, you are out of luck, because they are completely sold out at Home Depot. People also need a way to light those propane heaters and light the propane cooktops that they're buying. And the matches, we're talking fire starters, all of those things are gone. The 1 pound Coleman propane tanks that people put into the buddy heaters are non-existent right now. Even those little cans of gel that can stay lit and heat something for a long time, you could not find those either. And here is the number one thing that everybody is desperately searching for, guys. There are designated Facebook groups right now for finding generators in South Carolina, and you can see they're completely sold out. We didn't find any at any of the stores that we were at tonight. But one thing that I found kind of surprising was this sign that we saw when we walked into Home Depot. Hey guys, future me popping in here. It just got too dark for me to film last night, but as soon as Nate and I walked into that Home Depot, we immediately saw that sign that said line for generators, and I noticed that there was a lady sitting there next to it. And as I looked, You would not believe the amount of people that were lined up from the front of this store all the way to the back and then wrapped around waiting for generators. So I asked one of the gentlemen who was waiting there, are there generators coming in? And he said, we don't know. He said, we heard a rumor, we saw something online, and so we came down here. I asked him how long he had been standing there, thinking maybe 30 minutes, maybe an hour. He had been there since lunchtime, and it was now 6 o'clock. So you're talking 6 hours, and it just really surprised me how desperate and how many people were there still trying to get generators. Because even though we say winter storm and it kind of sounds like snow and sledding and things like that, it can be incredibly catastrophic when you cannot heat your home or keep your kids warm or keep your water pipes from bursting. If you don't have a way to heat food for your family, guys, this can be a serious thing. All right, so the next store that we went into was Walmart. Now you're gonna see some of this video was a little bit choppy. It was an absolute madhouse in there, and I was trying to get footage without getting people in the videos. I think I did okay. So let's take a look at what Walmart looked like. Guys, when I tell you that Walmart was packed, it was a madhouse. You're seeing here all of those really kind of highly processed, really easy things to put together. Your ramen noodles, your canned soups. There really were not a lot of options left. We saw a lot of holes throughout the store. Your sugar was completely eliminated. The vinegar area was getting a little thin, as well as the cooking oils. We did find some random cooler areas that were completely empty. And of course, the milk section, man, there's a couple half gallons there. But if you wanted half and half or anything like that, you were out of luck. There were a few packs of chicken left, some chicken thighs here, but things were really picked over. Your jams, jellies, and peanut butters for those easy peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Your cheaper breads were gone as well. Now there were some options, kind of far and few between here, of your more expensive breads, but I'm hoping that Walmart will continue to restock until this storm comes in. We're back at heaters again, just like Home Depot, except for Walmart actually had 4 electric heaters left on the shelf. Here in the camping area, you're gonna see that any type of propane stove has been bought up. So I think a lot of people right now are facing the fact that they have an electric cooktop and just don't have a way to heat food for their family. What you're looking at here is the only flashlight section in the entire store of Walmart, and they were completely sold out. There is one option that you're seeing there on the shelf, but nothing else was available. Coolers are also a huge thing right now. A lot of people are saying that if they lose power, they can take the perishable items from their fridge and freezer, put them in a cooler and set them outside since we're going to be in those freezing temps. And again, we're back to cooking. We saw a ton of grills that were gone, the cheaper charcoal grills and the propane grills. Now there was a more expensive, really nice Blackstone grill right here, but man, at a price tag of $500 in this economy, I just don't think many people can swing that right now. And if you needed a way to cook with your new grill, like you needed some of those charcoal pellets or wood pellets, those sections were almost bare. There was an entire aisle that had almost nothing in it, and then when you turned the corner, the next aisle was gone as well. A lot of people are stocking up on candles right now. Your cheaper tapered candles, all your tea lights were gone. There were a few decorative candles. Moving right along, here is Costco. Guys, they looked pretty good, I thought, except for the fact that if you go to Costco a lot like I do, you know that that second shelf as well as the third shelf are usually full with overstock. And if you're paying attention here, you are realizing that you're just not looking over into the next aisle, but you can see 2 aisles over. Now, if you wanted bread flour, you were not going to find it at Costco, but you could find some all-purpose here. Their paper towels looked really great, but their toilet paper, I have never seen this small amount of toilet paper here. Up on the shelves, you're actually just seeing more paper towels above that. So these are the last pallets that they had out. Their milk section was a little bit better than Walmart's, but not by much. Their milk, their eggs were really getting slim. Their butter, I would say, was probably the best area. And then their water. They literally had 3 pallets left. Those are paper towels up above on that second and third shelf, but I've never seen water this low either at Costco. And their bread section, although it did have some more options than Walmart, it still had a lot of bare areas. All right, guys, so if you stuck with me, you saw what I saw. Absolutely no generators, hardly any heaters left, definitely no propane heaters. There were no fuel, no gas tanks, no ways to light things like matches and fire starters. There were some grills left, but those came at a really high price tag. And if you needed charcoal bricks or the wood pellets, those were non-existent. The food did still look okay, but we have to remember, guys, that the trucks are gonna stop rolling in at some point. By the time you see this video, we are hours away from this storm coming in. And so those trucks are gonna stop, and what is there is going to be all that's available, and it is going to be picked up very, very quickly. And even though people have gotten food, have they gotten enough for 5 to 7 days? I'm even hearing reports right now that they're saying it could be 2 weeks without electricity, and that's going to be devastating. And this is why it is so important that you get things ahead of time, because you will not find them in a situation like this, especially the heating things and the ways that you're going to be able to provide for your family during this time. But anyways, guys, we've got a bit of work to do today. Nate's pulling the generator out. We're getting all of our stuff ready. We do run our equipment about twice a month, so we do know that everything's good. Of course, make sure that you did an oil change in your generator. That's really important to keep it up and running. But yeah, we're just getting a few loose ends tied up here. But thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I will see you in the next video.